97.3. Come on. Let's go.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue.
Oh, flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let's see, relieve your stress. So yes, let the music soothe your soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. Are you ready for the Traffic Avenue? Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. An applause for the Traffic Avenue.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to
City 97.3. Accra.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
Hello, good evening. This is the Election Bureau. The time is 5:30 p.m. and you're welcome to Eyewitness News, live from our studios here at number 11, Dr. Morton Loop in Adabraka, Accra. My name is Nanatufo Boateng, and this evening I am here with
Hawa Idrisu Mustafa.
Coming up over the next 1 hour, 30 minutes.
Organized labor has decided to declare a nationwide strike with effect from October 10th, 2024. We are therefore calling on all workers to stay at home starting Thursday, October 10, 2024, until government accedes to our demands.
Organized labor to embark on a nationwide strike from October 10 following government's failure to address their demands concerning illegal mining, also known as galamsey. Also coming up,
our staff are well trained and have the capacity and the competencies, as well as the skills to undertake the task of producing a final and credible voters register. We certainly do not require external assistance in our line of work.
Electoral Commission insists discrepancies in voters register are not unusual and are being addressed, shooting down calls by the National Democratic Congress (NDC) for a forensic audit of the voters register. And later, members of the Ghana National Association of Teachers (NAT) demonstrate over non-payment of their Tier 2 arrears. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and other stories on Eyewitness News. Later in business,
Government to distribute food grants to farmers affected by dry spell on October 10.
Eyewitness News is live across the country on all our affiliates, including Premier 100.5 FM, Sky Power 93.5 FM, and Beach 105.5 FM, all in Takrade in the Western region. Join us in the Bono Regional Capital, Sunyane, on Greener 95.9 FM. We're live in the Ahafo region on Hamas Radio 106.5 FM in Goso. You're welcome to the Ashanti region on Alpha Radio 104.9 FM and Orange 107.9 FM, both in Kumasi. Join us in the Volta region on Global 105.1 FM in Ho and Adanu 107.7 FM in Adaklu, Waya. Up in the Northern region, this is Diamond 93.7 FM in Tamale. You're listening to us in the Upper West region on Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. Hello to you on Source 100.1 FM in Boko in the Upper East region, and we are live in the Northeast region on Scarp 101.3 FM in Nankpanduri. The show is also live around the globe on citynewsroom.com. Your comments are welcome via our WhatsApp line 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. Join us with your thoughts, your comments, contributions to the various stories that we will be bringing you. How has our first story?
Organized Labour has declared a nationwide strike effective October 10, 2024 over government failure to take decisive action to address the escalating illegal mining menace. The group has called for a halt to all mining activities in forest reserves, the establishment of special courts to fast-track the prosecution of galamsey operators, and the deployment of the military to remove and destroy all mining equipment in affected areas. However, the government is yet to heed to the concerns of the labour unions. At a press conference held in Accra earlier today, the Secretary General of the Trade Union Congress, Joshua Ansah, announced a nationwide industrial action from October 10, 2024.
Organized Labour Ghana press statement, October 1st, 2024. Organized Labour met at an emergency meeting today, October 1st, 2024. Following the expiration of our deadline and the failure of government to meet our demands on illegal mining, that is galamsey, Organized Labour has decided to declare a nationwide strike with effect from October 10th, 2024. We are therefore calling on all workers to stay at home starting Thursday, October 10, 2024, until government accedes to our demands.
Joshua Ansah, Secretary General of the Trade Union Congress.
Let's speak to my colleague Fred Duho, who sat through that meeting. He joins us live via telephone. Hello, good evening, Fred.
Good evening, Nana.
Thank you so much for your time this evening. Kindly help us understand what transpired at this meeting, and is it that negotiations have ended and so Organized Labour is no longer interested in negotiating with government and therefore poised to take on this action?
Well, Organized Labour this afternoon, they called a meeting at 1 p.m., but the meeting actually started around 2:30 p.m., and that was without the press or the presence of the press. We were asked to wait outside while they held their own meeting, and after that meeting, we were invited in to, they communicated to us what their final decision were, basically as an Organized Labour, taking into account the fact that I personally saw some of the workers' union leadership present at this particular meeting. For instance, I saw some individuals like the University Teachers Association of Ghana UTAC members, to make specific mention of Professor Jampo from the University of Ghana. He was present. I also saw the Ghana Nurses and Midwives Association leader also present, and a host of other union leaders from across the working unions in the country. So this meeting lasted for about 40 minutes to an hour, and when we were invited in, they communicated to us in a very short statement by the Secretary General, Mr. Joshua Ansah, noting that from October 10, 2024, all workers should stay at home due to the fact that they waited for government to take some action, or as it were, declare an emergency, a state of emergency, and also meet some of their demands that they've put forth with regards to the illegal mining destruction that is happening in the country. They've not heard anything significant from the president as well as the government, and so workers should proceed on an indefinite strike. So this is what they communicated to us. Now, when I sought to get further information, the announcement was made that they are not going to speak to the media henceforth because they don't want their grievances to be diluted in any form. So the communication or the communique that was issued by the Secretary General is what they will hold on to until October 10, for them to embark on this strike. Now, I asked some individuals that I know within the organized labor, and when I asked about institutions such as nurses, doctors, as well as mortuary workers and a host of others that are into the category of essential services category, they noted that those institutions, they would have their strike rolled out gradually. In this case, they may want to start with the OPD services when they start, and then when they realize that the government is not coming forth with any meaningful statement or action, they may graduate or aggravate their demands further in terms of the essential services providers. So for teachers, for other workers that may quote and unquote be classified as not life-threatening service delivering institutions, for them, when it is October 10, they should stay back home and not go to work. Nana.
Very well. That explains our difficulty in reaching out to members of organized labor for an interview regarding this matter. But please hold on for me. I'll read the statement issued by organized labor after their meeting today, and then I'll come to you for more on this. The statement titled Organized Labor Press Statement October 1, 2024. Organized Labor met at an emergency meeting today, October 1, 2024, following the expiration of our deadline and the failure of government to meet our demands on illegal mining. Galamsey, Organized Labor has decided to declare a nationwide strike with effect from October 10, 2024. We are therefore calling on all workers to stay at home starting Thursday, October 10, 2024, until government accede to our demands. Thank you for your attention. Signed, Joshua Ansa, Secretary General Trades Union Congress TUC, Isaac Bampo Ado, Chairman Forum, and Kenneth Kumsen, Deputy Secretary General, Ghana Federation of Labour GFL. Now, Fred, I mean, quite a short, straight to the point, emphatic statement. But whilst you were there, were they able to explain the nature of this strike? Is it going to be rolled out in phases, especially for the essential services, as you did mention earlier, or it's going to be blanket? Everybody stays at home, and this is going to grind the nation to a halt.
Well, the very first thing we sought to even get clarification to is why not start tomorrow, or why not start now, if these are their demands and they've not heard from the government. And what I sought to get as an answer to this is that they are supposed to give 7 working days notice before they embark on any strike. So taking into account today being the 1st of October, the 10th day would obviously fall on, I think, on Tuesday on Thursday, really. So they are not going to start now because looking at the law that stipulates that they should embark on strike and also issue notice to that effect, when you take the Labour Act 2003, Act 651, specifically or specific mention to Section 1591, it states that they must give notice to their employer, which is the National Labour Commission. There must be notices given to the employer to that effect so that certain adjustments can be made and certain rooms can be created where if indeed the employer also has any possible means to resolving the issues raised, the employer would get that ample time to proceed to address their concerns. In this case, we are talking about government for that matter. So if within these 7 days notice, the government do not issue any statement or hold any emergency meeting or invite leadership of organized labor to address these concerns, it means that on the 10th, all workers, and the underlining word here is that all workers in the government sector, obviously, should stay at home and not go anywhere, except for essential service providers like those working in the hospital, even that one, it was due to my inquiry. That is when I got that understanding that for essential service like hospitals, they may roll it out from one step to the other. So in this case, the OPD services may shut down if they have like cases like surgical or emergencies to attend to. Maybe those ones may be allowed from the start. But when government feels going forward, gradually all those services may grind to a halt. And in effect, it will mean that the entire nation, no one will go to work. And this will mean that services in all government sectors would come to a standstill.
Very well, Fred. Thank you so very much. Grateful for your time this evening. Fred Duho is my colleague here, and he reported from that meeting, emergency meeting today held by organized labor, after which a declaration of a nationwide strike from 10th October has been made. Let's go over the phone lines and speak to a labor expert, a labor analyst on the implications of this strike by organized labor. Good evening, Sir Austin Game. Thank you so very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Grateful. Should labor go ahead with its intended strike, what are the implications for the country?
Well, obviously, it will be a disruption, but it's a worthy disruption. And I think that we should applaud organized labor for being very helpful to the voiceless people in this country.
We've seen the issues such as this over the period. It's recurring, more cyclical, if I can put it that way. How do you best see that these issues can be addressed before they are even escalated to a point where an industrial action is declared?
Well, I'm even surprised that they did not consider the risk level as 100%. And therefore have given 7 days. If I were to be the Secretary General and the people meeting today, we certainly would not give it 7 days notice. It will be an immediate action because this is long overdue. We are actually, if you like, potentially, we have agreed to self-murder ourselves. That is what it is. And so the organized labor have been framed specially under the Labour Act to speak as the voice of the rest of the people because of the non-political aspect of their dealings, so that they can save a situation when it comes to this kind of extent. They have delayed in many other things, but this one is about life and death matter. So I think they've done exceptionally well. There is no negotiation. This matter is undiscussable, and therefore there is no need for anybody to call any meeting whatsoever to discuss anything with them. If government is mindful about the concerns being raised by all of us, and indeed, as the title implies, organized labor, then they will have to provide an answer almost immediately, or everybody else join in. I'm even surprised the private sector will not join. We should be concerned also.
Mr. Gombe, now we know that organized labor had previously set a September end deadline to take action if government fails to act on its demands. Today, after the meeting, they've given an October 10 date for the strike to take effect. Could it be that organized labor appreciates the impact of a nationwide strike and is therefore allowing room for further negotiations?
Well, we all do know that according to information provided by the minister responsible for lands and natural resources and also the managers of the economy, that this illegal or illegality going on gives the nation about 40+% of an income based on foreign exchange, and therefore they are hell bent to keep it going. Can they buy your life with that the whole amount they get, the 40%? Can they buy your life, that of your wife, your children, your colleagues? Can they save your life? Nobody can save your life. Nobody can buy our life, and therefore this is something that is undiscussable. I think as far back as 2015 or so, in this country, when this issue was raised one time, I don't want to mention his name, that it appears Eastern Region appears to be the kingpin of Galamsey, together with some media people and the populists, because of parochial political reasons, they nearly roasted that fellow in this country. And it didn't go down well. And here we are today, going about this thing the way we are going about it again. I'm surprised that at this highest level of risk, we still have given 7 days notice. So I'm a private sector person. I also have my business. I have my working people. But I've told them that they should stop drinking water from certain places in this country because it's not easy. This is a complete poison. We are poisoning ourselves. And so organized labor, kudos. But I'm surprised they gave 7 days, albeit it will arrive soon.
Mr. Gami, we all agree that this is an illegality being perpetrated. Why are we calling on a ban on an illegality? If the thing is illegal, then of course the law should act, and whichever agency is mandated to enforce the law should do so. I mean, should it take us to call for a ban on an illegality?
Yeah, brother, the point is that right now it's as if we don't have a government. It's as if we don't have a government. So we have to take our destiny into our hands. You as an individual or a small clique of people, like the people who demonstrated recently, albeit some of them misbehaved, that notwithstanding, because they are small, they were overpowered and they are still in the cooler. But nobody can arrest organized labor, and nobody can talk about it. No government in this country can face it. And so I'm pleased. There is nothing special about this illegality. It's a killer. It's a poison. It's unacceptable. And therefore, we have delayed. And government should act almost immediately. They are my friends in government. They should act almost immediately by stopping this Galamsey, banning it, withdrawing the law, and let's reset ourselves in order to be able to keep life and body and spirit going until we are no more here. But the way we are behaving is unacceptable, and this thing should never be repeated in this country again. This is the first and the last. No government should ever behave like this towards the people of this country.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time this evening. We're grateful.
I'm grateful.
Austin Game is a labor analyst speaking to us on that declaration of a nationwide strike by organized labor effective October 10, 2024. Let's still stay on this matter and speak to the executive secretary of the Labor Commission, Ofusua Samoa. We're still working the lines to get him to speak to the matter. The story is that in an emergency meeting held today, Tuesday, organized labor has expressed their frustration over the government's inaction regarding their demands concerning illegal mining, commonly known as Galamsey. So, what are the demands that organized labor has been making? We know that some 3 demands were put out in their last meeting with government, which 3 key demands include the immediate evacuation of all mining equipment from forest reserves and areas around water bodies. They also called for the deployment of the police and military with full orders to remove or destroy all mining and earth moving equipment near river bodies and within forest reserves. We're joined now by the Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission, Ofusua Samoa. Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
I trust you're well.
Yeah, very well.
So, was the Commission unable to intervene in this matter to a point that we now have a pending strike to deal with?
It's a very complex issue we have on our hand now, because this strike does not look like a strike where you have employees pressing home a demand in a collective bargaining for their welfare. This is more of a strike in the political circle than one of a employer-employee or worker relations or an industrial dispute. It's a complex one. So we just got note of it this evening, and the commission will be sitting tomorrow and we'll look at the way forward. Fortunately, the strike is intended to begin on the 10th, so we have time to look at it.
Very well, but the organized labor, had previously set a September 10 deadline. From September end of month deadline to take action regarding this matter if government fails to address their concerns.
Yes, they said if the government does not address their concern, they were going to engage in a series of industrial actions. And government, at a point in time, set a committee of some ministers to look at it and all that. And we are not privy to the report. We are not privy to those things. So perhaps it at this time that it has escalated, that perhaps it will come in, because none of the parties called on the Labour Commission, they gave their threat to the government. The government also decided to react to it by forming a committee to look at what their petition was. The government could have written to us that the Labour Commission, this would have threatened strike. So A, B, C, and D. They could have also written, but none of the parties have listened to us. But that will not take away our power to intervene. But like I'm saying, this is not an issue between an employer and an employee in respect of a collective bargaining agreement, enforcement of its terms, or an employer-employee relation, or any form of their contract. So this is the strike is an industrial action. The purpose for which they are striking is a bit complex for us. But like I said, the commissioners will meet tomorrow, Wednesday, and then we look at the way to go. So I'll put it before them tomorrow.
Mr. Samoa, you mentioned that neither government nor organized labor wrote to you concerning this matter. Do we take it that you were at no point engaged in the negotiations on this particular subject?
No, not on this matter. We have not been engaged in this matter at all.
What would usually happen regarding a situation like this? Will the commission have cause to intervene, although you had not been written to, in order to avoid this particular situation that we have?
Well, because of the declaration of the strike, the commission will have the power to intervene, because the law in this country is that if any employee will want to engage in a strike, you must notify the commission. We haven't received any such notification. But we haven't received any such notification. We are just getting it from the various press conferences and the social media, and perhaps from your electronic media as well, like we are doing now. But you know that, like I'm saying, this is a bit complex. So the commissioners will come and look at it tomorrow. That's it.
Very well, but how worried is the commission about this? If organized labor should indeed carry out...
It's very worrying. If you listen to the way I speak, you see that I'm worried, because how can we have the whole of the labor force in Ghana going on strike? That would be a very massive loss to the government and the people of Ghana. And Our present economic situation is not the best. And if we are going to lose all that money, then I don't think it's good for us. So I'm sure the government will take immediate steps to address their concerns. They will also be ready to sit with government and find a midway to solving it, because they have raised the issue of the environment, and that affects everybody, including me, including everybody from the president to the least in the country. So it's a matter of concern to all of us. So I'm sure that perhaps, you see, the government may not want to do as they want if they have an alternative way of solving the problem. But the best is that is for the two of them to sit and talk. The unions, the labor force, and the government. Because at the end of the day, it's a win-win for all of us, or a lose-lose for all of us. Whether you are the government or you are the labor, we all drink polluted water. We risk dying. And water is one of the essentials of life. So I'm sure that the government will do something about it. I hope, and I believe that they really have to do something, meet them, and then find a middle way. If it is not to accept all that they have said in the way they want it, there must be a middle line.
Now, I understand that you have underscored the complexity of the situation, and of course, this is more of a direct issue between the government and organized labor. You are only in the picture because the law mandates that you are notified of a strike by any worker or group of workers. But in this instance, what role would you or can you play to help bring some respite to the situation?
Yes, as a commission, we mediate and arbitrate in disputes. We help parties. So, you see, initially they will have to meet and negotiate a settlement. And it is where the parties are unable to negotiate a settlement, then we come in to mediate between them, or appoint mediators for them, appoint arbitrators for them. They nominate and then we appoint them to settle the dispute. Or at worst, compulsory, we bring them to the table to have the problem solved. That is it. So,
very well. Mr. Simon, sorry, please go ahead.
At the moment, like I'm saying, that yes, they have given the red alert that between now and the 10th, if nothing is done, they go to declare a strike. So I think that within that period, we urge the government to engage them. And that if they are unable to engage them for a negotiated settlement, and that is where we may come in. But like I said, this is not one of those employer-employee relations that the commission settles. This is a pure political issue. So I think the government will have to find a way of solving it.
Very well, thank you so much. But before I let you go, let's touch on one of such employer-employee relations, which has to do with a number of tertiary education worker unions who are on strike, and has affected the reopening dates of a number of tertiary institutions across the country. Where do we stand now as a commission? And of course, how far has negotiations traveled to see to the reopening or the return of these workers to campus, and of course for academic activities to begin?
I think that issue will be very soon. I'm sure you will hear the news. There was supposed to be a meeting this morning, but the minister had to go and perform a very important national function. So the meeting was rescheduled for this afternoon. And I believe that as I'm talking to you now, they are in the meeting the minister, because the issue came before us. And most of them are not new. There are things that have come before us, and that there has been either a directive on it, or the parties themselves have negotiated and signed a memorandum of understanding already. So it's all a question. Most of them are a question of implementation or misrepresentation of facts in some way. So we have given them, when they brought it, their petition, we looked at it, and we wrote to the ministry concerned as well as their employers that yes, this is what they have got. There are some that have been directly or willing on it already. So Have you implemented it? If not, why are you not? And this is the red alert they have given that if you don't do it, this is what will happen. So please engage them and let's get the results. So we give them time. Like I said, the commission will resume sitting tomorrow. We went on a 1-month recess. So that's why most of these things perhaps occurred within the period. But we ask the minister to engage them, and that is what he is doing now as I'm talking to you. So if they are unable to settle, then the commission will come in. Where we have given a directive and it has not been complied with, we will go to court and enforce it, like we have been doing in earlier times. Where there is no daily directive or rule, and that the parties are free to negotiate, then the commission will arbitrate on it. That is what is going to happen.
Very well, sir. Thank you so much for your time. We're grateful.
Thank you.
Mr. Ofosu Asamoah is the Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission. Yeah, listening to Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Stay with us. When we return, Electoral Commission insists discrepancies in voters' register are not unusual and are being addressed, shooting down calls by the National Democratic Congress NDC for a forensic audit of the voters' register. Stay with us. We'll be right back with the details.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Hi, Aku. I just got the estimate for the home repairs. It's more than we expected. I'm really stressed about where to find the money.
Why worry, Musa? You are a salaried worker. Haven't you heard about the GCB personal loan promo? They can give you up to 700,000 Ghana cedis in less than 24 hours at a significantly reduced interest rate and fees.
Really? This sounds exciting, but is it easy to apply?
Super easy. Skip the stress. Get the cash with the GCB personal loan promo with a 1-month repayment holiday. Just visit a GCB bank branch near you or call 0302-634-922. Toll free 0800-422-422. No hassle, no stress.
Wow, I just got a notification. The loan is already in my account. That was fast.
Skip the stress and get the cash you need with GCB personal loan. Visit a branch near you today. Terms and conditions apply. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
Oh, jump on now. Go, go. Google me. At what time when you come back, we are not hear the sound of your car. Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Yo, Pana. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
So Hadia Wache didn't come today too?
Her doctor just left here. She said Hadia went to the hospital and they found out she has malaria.
Why? Doesn't she sleep under an insecticide treated net?
Madam, as for the net, sleeping under is uncomfortable.
Oh please, the treated net works, Papa. If you sleep under it every night and throughout the night.
Oh yes, when you get it fresh, remove and dry it for at least 2 or more days in the shade. And make sure you tuck it under the bed or mat properly. Then you sleep under it.
During the day, tie or roll it nicely to prevent damage and sew up every small hole you find in it.
When your treated net gets dirty, wash it gently with mild bar soap and hang it under the shade to dry. It can be washed 20 times and can last 3 years.
Wow, but the heat?
The heat is mostly from our room. Either our windows are too small or closed, just open for air to enter.
Follow the process of caring for the insecticide-treated net and sleeping under it. Let's all come on board Good Life to eliminate malaria now. Good Life, live it well. It's an everyday thing. This message is brought to you by Ghana Health Service and partners with support from USAID.
Malaria away, good life, live it well.
Hey, is that cool? Hey, you've grown into a
big boy, oh.
Ah, even Momo is 15 years old.
It still feels like yesterday when we were fumbling with cash and worrying about the way money moves.
Say it again. Now I send money to my AC in the village, pay bills, save money, loans so kaka, investment kaka, at the Momo app.
Shit. How do you think I get the small coins from my bugapa?
To celebrate 15 years of Momo, you too can win awesome prizes in the Momo at 15 rewards promo. Just download the new My Momo app, continue to transfer and make payments, and you could be one of the 15 lucky winners of 15,000 Ghana cedis and 150 lucky winners of 1,500 Ghana cedis each. So, Ghana, keep celebrating Momo at 15. Offer runs from now till November. T's and C's apply. MTN.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Yeah, welcome back. Now, the Electoral Commissioner, Jean Mensa, has reiterated her rejection of the National Democratic Congress's call for a forensic audit of the 2024 Provisional Voters Register. Speaking at the Inter-Party Advisory Committee meeting on Tuesday, she emphasized the Electoral Commission's constitutional mandate and its history of conducting credible elections. Citing Article 45A of the 1992 Constitution, Madam Jean Mensa urged all stakeholders to place their trust in the Commission as it fulfills its responsibilities.
As the body mandated by Article 45A of the 1992 Constitution to compile the Register of Voters and to revise it at such periods as may be determined by law, we urge you all to trust us to perform our functions as enshrined in the Constitution. The Commission has a track record and is globally respected for delivering free, fair, credible, and transparent elections and electoral processes, and this includes the compilation of the Provisional Voters Register. Our staff are well trained and have the capacity and the competencies, as well as the skills, to undertake the task of producing a final and credible voters register. We certainly do not require external assistance in our line of work.
He had the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensa.
Let's speak to the NDC on this matter because it is the NDC that has raised the issue regarding discrepancies in the Provisional Voters Register, which occasioned the Electoral Commission to convene this IPAC meeting. We'll speak to a Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the National Democratic Congress, NDC, Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you doing?
Terrific.
I understand it's a busy day for you, so we'll get straight to it.
Very well.
The Electoral Commission today did an almost 1 hour presentation on work done so far or to ensure the credibility of the voters register. You have raised issue with discrepancies in same document, 5 of which the EC today highlighted and said was addressing or had addressed. Are you not satisfied?
Very well. Let me say to yourself and the very good listeners of your radio station that today the NDC stand vindicated with the presentation by the Electoral Commission, and that is why we're calling for the live broadcast so that Ghanaians will see that the NDC actually had issues with the provisional register, and we actually presented evidence to the issue. Their director or ICT consultant who did the presentation admitted to almost all the grievances that we raised initially, and that made us vindicated. And clearly, even our arch opponent, the MPP, when they held their press conference and was saying that we didn't have evidence. Today, the Electoral Commission spoke to our evidence and admitted to very far-reaching issues, and even to the extent they even opened up the floodgate for issues that we didn't even know that would have even supported our call for the forensic audit that we used to call on.
What are some of these issues? What are some of the issues that they opened the floodgate to?
The Electoral Commission made it very clear that their IT system is damn vulnerable. But it's vulnerable because when we ask them questions about the login credentials that they gave to their district directors, the man admitted, in fact, on live TV, that the login credentials could be used by any other person because the credentials are created in Accra and given to the directors, and of which the directors cannot change. You and I, when you take bank account and they give you your card, ATM card, the first login passcode they give you, you use that one to log into the card, and then you can now change it subsequently to now have your own one. Now, when you come to the EC, the man admitted, actually the one they gave to the directors, none of them could change it. It means that those who generated it in Accra could still use it for any evil activity. That led to all these illegal transfers they were being doing for. Because a further question indicated that some of the login could even pass on to some of the girlfriends or wives or husbands of their officers over there, and they could use it anyhow. That led to the Pusiga episode. So clearly that tells you that something is written about the IT. So you can have a house which has no windows or it has no doors, or you have doors and windows, but they cannot lock them. Anybody can just open and enter and come out. That is what is happening at the Electoral Commission. They admitted it there. And they admitted to the discrepancies we raised and sought to use words like errors. There were errors. They made a mistake. We have corrected them. We have removed them. We have reversed all this. I am not surprised the PNC people were saying that if you disqualify our candidates because of errors, then you have no basis to talk about errors on your own register. So we stand vindicated. Well, they agreed that they will give us a revised provisional register. They said they are giving us a revised provisional register. We are waiting for it. They say in a week's time, they will give it to us. They also said they are going to do exhibition, and this one online exhibition. Fair enough. We are going to study. We'll take our time to take the revised provisional register, go through it once again, study it. If there are discrepancies, we will revert them. So clearly, I would say we have achieved our aim for going for this live broadcast today, and we have actually pushed the Electoral Commission to come clean of some of the errors we've been talking of, which borders on the heartbeat of our democracy.
Could that be the reason why we didn't see a full-scale defense of the issues that you had raised as against the explanations being given by the EC? Because it was the expectation of many that at a forum like this, it was probably the best platform for the NDC to put its data or evidence out there for the entire country and of course the rest of the world to see. But it looks as though even when the EC's IT representative, Dr. Ofusweje, mentioned that you had not supplied them or furnished them with some data, we did not see you challenge that.
But brother, we have issues, 5 issues that we raised. Listen to him when he was talking about the 5 issues. Where did he get the data to reverse the 243,000 old data that they padded into the current register? Where did he get it from?
Well, he did say that this is based on information you had put in the public space.
That is what I'm saying. He said it. That is what I'm saying. That is the information. That is the teaser we give. The IT system could not identify it. Their IT system was a transfer batch of over 500,000. And we said it's wrong. It's not correct. In any case, when he was trying to say that our analysis was faulty, how can you tell me analysis was faulty when you gave me the same document? The document was picked from you. So you knew that you were giving me a faulty document. And so if I'm going to do a research on a faulty document, what outcome do you expect? And so they almost lie on them. And then we did it.
Doc, you see,
we analyzed it and was able to trace that about 243,000 old data has been added, and they agreed to it.
You see, we have just about 60 days to the election, and I want to believe that the end game of this petition or request that you are making is to ensure that we have a credible register for the election. So if you have identified all these discrepancies, why wouldn't you make same or the gamut of your data available to the EC so that together you can address these issues and ensure that we go into the elections with a credible role?
I am saying that you have an electoral commission that you cannot trust because they've lost our confidence. We made it. We even told them, hey, the reporters were there. We cannot trust this electoral commission in handling matters of this nature. Because when we talked about over 3,000 people names have been deleted, did you hear him say that nobody name has been deleted from the register? But he went on to say that those names have been put into exception lists and multiple registers. That is what he was trying to say. Now, putting them in multiple and exception lists means you tacitly remove their names from the register. Because anybody name which appears in the exception list or multiple list cannot vote. Okay, cannot vote. Such a person cannot vote.
Very well.
So if you go and put your name in the exception, it means they have removed your name. And so we knew what they were talking about. And we are saying that clearly, had it not because of our eagle eye, the NDC eagle eye, do you think this correction they were presenting over there, they would have shown it to you people?
Your boss, Dr. Edward Omane-Boamah, today mentioned that the party will be meeting. I want to believe that meeting has ended. Are you able to tell us the outcome of this meeting?
Yes, we've just closed the meeting right now. And any moment from now, you see a statement coming from us. I will let you hold your fire as we release the statement. Any moment from now, we'll release a statement and it will capture the salient point that we want Ghanaians to take home about our meeting with the Electoral Commission today.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to that statement. Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer is a Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the National Democratic Congress, NDC. Let's still stay on this matter. The Electoral Commission today has met with political parties and other stakeholders regarding the voters register for the 2024 general elections, and of course made a presentation based on the petition by the the National Democratic Congress, NDC, and its demand or request for a forensic audit of the voters register. The EC has said that it has competent staff who should be able to address any discrepancies regarding the voters register, and hence there is no need for any external assistance. The EC has also said that discrepancies found in the register are being addressed, and so it is for the NDC to collaborate with the EC to help ensure the integrity of the role. Let's speak to the NPP now. Evans Nimako is Director of Elections Research and IT for the New Patriotic Party. He joins us now via telephone. Good evening, sir, and thank you for your time.
Good evening for having me, but please let me make the corrections. I'm the Director of Research and Elections and IT.
Director of Research and Elections. Thank you so much for that. So let me just start off with this. As a party and a major stakeholder in the 2024 general elections, have you audited the provisional voters register as was presented to you by the EC? And if you have, what were your own findings?
Thank you very much once again for having me. And let me put it on record that today, the data has shown that, one, the NDC has filled the IPAC forensic audit test. Why am I saying this? If you understand this whole electoral change and how the final voters register is generated, you understand that when you are looking at the CI 126 as amended, look at regulation 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. You understand that when the EC has compiled the register, it put them together at a provisional voters register stage. Provisional. And the Act says copies must be given to political parties in a form determined by the EC. And at this stage, it is meant to be observed for corrections to be effected at administrative level and at legal level. Because when names have been objected to at this stage for being in the register, it doesn't lie in the bosom of the EC, but it has to go to the judiciary for adjudication. It is the reason why the New Patriotic Party raised issues of some people in Menchia South constituency, and the court ruled that those people should be transferred back to their original polling stations and not into Menchia constituency. When we received copy of the provisional register, the New Patriotic Party printed them out, handed them over to our polling station executives for them to conduct voter audit. So they will see at each polling station those who are supposed to be on the register. We didn't toe the line of NDC, where you sit in your room, generate the data, you not share with the EC, but you convince yourself that your method that you've used to access the provisional register is robust enough for you to get your people to go onto the street. And that's what we saw the NDC doing on the 17th. Thanks be to God today when we met at IPAC, where the media was there in their numbers to carry the whole exercise live. The EC did the presentation. Yes, NDC had raised some concerns, but the challenging issue with their concerns has been that they refuse to provide the EC with the evidence they have. It turned out from the EC's IT directory that the NDC method of assessing the register, of analyzing the register, is problematic. It is the reason why they are coming out with too many jargons, forensic audits here and there. But my brother, the call for credible register is in order. But what form must it take? The New Patriotic Party over the years have been consistent about credible register to ensure that the credibility of an election is established. It is the reason why in 2015, before the Justice Club Committee, the New Patriotic Party submitted data of minors who were on the provisional register, of non-Ghanaians who were on the register, of dead people. At the end of Justice Club Committee's sitting, they recommended that there were over 580,000 dead people on the register. However, they recommended to the EC that they should use the exhibition platform to clean the register. The NDC then said that notwithstanding the 580,000 dead people on the register, that register was fit for purpose. And that register was used to conduct the 2016 elections. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo won that election with close to 1 million difference in that 2016, beating a certain president. When we were going to the 2020 elections, the EC told Ghanaians that the voter register then, the voter management system, had reached end of life. Refurbishing was more expensive than putting in place a new system. NDC objected to this. The EC put a new system together. New Patriotic Party went into that elections and we won. And so if you're asking whether the New Patriotic Party has assessed the data and what are our findings, we dealt with our findings at the polling station and constituency level, and we are seeing effect. And so today, the EC told us that they are also, as a way of cleaning the provisional register, going to furnish political parties with the revised provisional register for us to interrogate again and come to them ahead of the final register generation. And so I'll say that yes, today's exercise has been very good, very transparent, but what is established is that the NDC failed the audit test at IPAC level. This audit test is well spelled out in the CI 126 as amended. And so, yes, if really you appreciate this whole arrangement, you wouldn't be on the streets to cause mayhem.
Evans Nimako, thank you so much for your time this evening.
My pleasure.
Evans Nimako is the Director of Elections and Research for the New Patriotic Party, NPP. This is the Election Bureau. You're listening to Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Stay with us. When we come back, we have business.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the whole family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, is that cool? Hey, you've grown into a big boy, oh.
Evipa. Even Momo is 15 years old.
It still feels like yesterday when we were fumbling with cash and worrying about the way money moves.
Say it again. Now I send money to my AC in the village, pay bills, save money, loans so kakra, investment kakra, at the Momo app.
Shit. How do you think I get the small coins from my bugapa?
To celebrate 15 years of Momo, you too can win awesome prizes in the Momo F15 Rewards promo. Just download the new My Momo app, continue to transfer and make payments, and you could be one of the 15 lucky winners of 15,000 Ghana cedis and 150 lucky winners of 1,500 Ghana cedis each. So, Ghana, keep celebrating Momo at 15. Offer runs from now till November. T's and C's apply. MTN.
The Births and Deaths Registry beckons all of us to forge a future where each birth is duly recorded and every Ghanaian life is cherished and remembered. To help capture these moments, registration is absolutely free for the first day to 12 months after birth. You are, however, encouraged to register within the first 90 days of a child's birth for timely data capturing to help government plan for the child. Ensure that you present a maternal health record book or weighing card for the registration of births. By registering births, we lay the foundation for progress and prosperity in our beloved nation. Our offices are opened from Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. This message is brought to you by the Births and Deaths Registry under the Ministry of Local Government's Decentralization and Rural Development, supported by the Public Sector Reform for Results Project and the World Bank. Call 030-3941-222 or visit pdr.gov.gh for further details. From the first cry to bidding farewells, everyone counts. Register now.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. My name is Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Details of our stories now. The government is set to begin the distribution of food grants on October 10 for over 800,000 farmers affected by the dry spell that hit the northern and middle belt of the country. According to the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Boyne Champon, each farmer will receive a 25 kg bag of rice and 100 kg bag of maize. Addressing a press conference in Accra, the Minister, Boyne Champon, noted that the distribution is part of the government's existing interventions to mitigate the impact on affected farmers.
From the 10th of October, we will also commence the distribution of food grants to 800,000 farmers in the 8 affected regions. There's a big distinction. The inputs, the fertilizers and the seeds is going to farmers nationwide. But the food grants is going to the farmers in the affected regions because they are the ones that have lost their crop. So 800,000 farmers in the 8 affected regions will, from the 10th of October, be receiving food grants. Each farmer will receive 25 kg bag of rice and 100 kg bag of maize per farmer. To bring relief to the general population, we are setting up an online grains market starting the 10th of October to enable the public conveniently access grains, that is maize and rice, at affordable prices.
Food and Agriculture Minister Brian Champon. The negotiations are underway to settle on a private sector developer to complete all stalled affordable housing units. This comes after the Ministry for Works and Housing announced that 2 companies have been shortlisted and are being engaged on a roadmap to complete the Saglemi housing project. The project, when completed, will consist of 5,000 housing units at a cost of $200 million. Kojo Nkrumah is Minister for Works and Housing.
As at September, 2 companies have been shortlisted by our transaction advisors, and they have ferried the details of those 2 companies to us. We've also received executive approval from the President on a structure to use for negotiations to get the best value for the Republic of Ghana. And indeed, last week, the negotiations commenced with an inception meeting. So you'll notice all the items we've already done are shaded in green, and the last 2 items are yellow. So negotiations are currently ongoing. We expect that early November work will resume after a new developer is signed up to go onto the site.
Kojo Nkrumah also reiterated plans for the government to collaborate with the private sector rather than to sell its stalled housing project to the private sector.
A lot of the times people confuse us to say we are selling these projects. I want to repeat for the umpteenth time, we are not selling Saglemi, we are not selling Adenta, we are not selling Koforidua to the private sector. We have invited private sector to participate with their funding and their technology. So they bring in the capital, we use their money and their technology to finish the project. And as was originally intended, these projects would then be sold to members of our worker unions, government workers, etc. And the funding that was brought by the private sector is then received and paid back to the private sector. And whatever investment government also made in it, government recoups part of that investment. So,
Kojo Nkrumah is Minister of Works and Housing. Now you'll have to dig deeper in your pocket and cough up 10% extra for your favorite food product as manufacturers pass on the increment in utility tariffs to consumers. Now, tariffs have gone up by 3.02% for electricity, while water cost has seen a 1.86% increment for all categories of customers as announced by the PURC. But businesses say they have no option but to make consumers pay for the additional cost of production to sustain their operations. Samuel Atto Agri is General Secretary of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana.
We have also another militating factor that is eating against the industry, the cost of production. As this one is coming, the utilities are going up. This is also going to increase the cost of production. Then we have the cedi factor, which is also coming on. So if you look at the cost of the cedi, the way it's going up, if we are not careful this December, how it's going to be. So we'll look at the long-term projections and then cost it into the factors that we have now to ensure that nobody runs at a loss. If you look at it, I cannot give you offhand because what will happen is that we'll put all the figures in the tabulation and then see how best we can do the calculation. So mostly some of the industries will do some adjustment which will not reflect, but definitely what will come on board, it will not be less than 10%.
Well, the manufacturers also have some demands. They want government to create a business-friendly environment to enable businesses produce at competitive prices.
What our complaint has been is for the Trade Ministry and the Finance Ministry to consider how best to come down in terms of the utility cost, because even an increase of 1% to the industry player is a big, huge increment. So for you to go 3%, then we have a big issue to deal with. So with this one, as we have been saying before, government need to bring down the cost of utilities for industry players so that we can produce at a cheaper cost, so we can also be more competitive within the sub-region. Unfortunately, they are not heeding to this call and they keep on increasing the utilities. That is driving the cost of products.
Samuel Atuagere is General Secretary of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. Now, Springfield E&P has contracted deep sea bolster rig from Northern Ocean Limited to lead the appraisal of the Afena 1X well in its deep offshore block in Ghana. In partnership with GNPC and GNPC Exploco, this strategic initiative underscores Springfield's commitment to advancing Ghana's oil production by aiming to finalize the unitization of the Afena Sankofa field to ultimately bring significant value to the government of Ghana and all stakeholders involved. The well test with the deep sea bolster rig will commence this month. Other blue chip service companies, both local and international, have been engaged to offer support services related to the upcoming operations. This comes after the International Court of Arbitration ruled that Springfield should do further work to complete the unitization process. And that's it for City Business News on Eyewitness News. My name is Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Up next is Point Blank.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
I go. There at the Biawe Clan of Adani Chim Chim Museum invites you to the annual ancestral veneration ceremony on October 5th at 8 a.m. in Nuhali. Activities include communal cleaning and film screening on October 4th, followed by prayers for blessings, including special sessions for enslaved ancestors, also for twins who have lost their other half, and fertility blessings for those who wish to give birth to twins. Attendees are encouraged to wear all white. On October 6th, there will be communal dining and networking. For more details and accommodation options, call 050-1368-778 and follow our website and all social media platforms. All Pan-Africans, researchers, schools, mosques, and churches are welcome.
Electroland Ghana Limited is back with a massive back-to-school promo. Visit EGL showrooms and authorized dealer stores across Ghana for best offers on Samsung, Media, TCL, and NASCO products. Get a free portable audio speaker with the 50-inch NASCO Android UHD Smart TV for just 4,999 Ghana cedis. NASCO AC starting 3,699 Ghana cedis with free air cooler. Experience UHD 4K Smart Android TV with TCL for 6,499 Ghana cedis and receive a free electric kettle. Cook up a storm with the Media 20-liter solo microwave for only 999 Ghana cedis and say no to cold meals. Get a free cake mixer with the 4-burner Media gas cooker. Call 0503-159-739 for more information. Electroland Ghana Limited, home of electronics and appliances. Terms and conditions apply.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Google me. At what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. One pair way now open there. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, then make a finish Magobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand the Magobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the Gobe too small. The Gogo. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Hey, is that Cuckoo? Hey, you've grown into a big boy, oh.
Even Momo is 15 years old.
It still feels like yesterday when we were fumbling with cash and worrying about the way money moves.
Say it again. Now I send money to my AC in the village, pay bills, save money, loans so kaka, investment kaka, at the Momo app.
Shit. How do you think I get the small coins from my bugger pack?
To celebrate 15 years of Momo, you too can win awesome prizes in the Momo F15 Rewards promo. Just download the new My Momo app, continue to transfer and make payments, and you could be one of the 15 lucky winners of 15,000 Ghana cedis and 150 lucky winners of 1,500 Ghana cedis each. So, Ghana, keep celebrating Momo at 15. Offer runs from now till November. T's and C's apply.
MTN.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
News on 97.3 Citi FM. It's time now for Point Blank. On Point Blank tonight, we hear from the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress NDC and former President John Dramani Mahama. Today met with the clergy to receive some blessings ahead of the 2024 general elections, during which meeting he did pledge to intensify efforts to combat LGBTQ plus activities should he assume office in the 2024 elections. Let's hear from the former president and flag bearer of the largest opposition political party in the country, the National Democratic Congress NDC, John Dramani Mahama.
Dear brothers and sisters in the faith, I cannot single any of you out because we're all distinguished members of the body of Christ. But I'd like to welcome my good friend, Reverend Osubempa. I noticed he got the loudest applause in the introductions, and I want to thank him for answering to the call. This call was to everybody who is part of the body of Christ, and I'm happy that he accepted to be here with us. Thank you very much. My dear men and women of God, I'm deeply humbled and grateful for the chance to address you once again on matters concerning the progress of our beloved nation, Ghana. Your presence here reflects your unwavering commitment to the values that unite us as a people and your dedication to steering our nation onto the right path. I sincerely appreciate the audience and wise counsel that many of you have offered me whenever you have had the opportunity throughout my political career. The people of Ghana are grateful for your steadfast prayer and guidance, which has helped hold our nation together even through the most challenging moments. Distinguished members of the clergy, our country Ghana today is at a critical juncture in its history. Faith in our democratic system of governance is fast eroding, especially among the youth of Ghana. Young people of this country no longer believe that the state cares about them or is committed to providing opportunities for them to thrive. A recent Afrobarometer survey revealed that more than 80% of Ghanaians believe that our country is headed in the wrong direction. We need an urgent change, of course, and of course we need an urgent reset. We need a reset of our governance. We need a reset of our economic models. We need a reset of our attitudes and values. Unfortunately, the current leadership is blissfully unaware of the abyss into which the nation is plunging. Arrogance and impunity continue to be the order of the day. Systematic looting of state resources and rampant nepotism and cronyism have become a normal way of life. The harsh reality is that our economy has been disastrously mismanaged, leaving us in the severest economic and debt crisis this country has ever experienced in its history. well feeling the consequences of this failure. And yet those responsible refuse to acknowledge their role and instead blame everyone and everything but themselves. Human rights violations and the deliberate undermining of state institutions have undone the progress that has been made by successive regimes before this one. The soaring cost of living has plunged many into poverty in our country, with countless businesses on the brink of collapse. Several businesses are relocating to our neighboring countries. Bank closures have rendered many banking professionals jobless. Debt exchange haircuts have eroded the incomes and savings of the Ghanaian middle class and also robbed pensioners of their savings. Our natural resources, including water bodies and forests, are under severe threat from the illegal mining menace. This poses a grave danger to our very survival as a nation. Today, many of our children no longer see a future for themselves in their homeland and are all struggling to migrate to pastures abroad. The collective dream of a prosperous nation is fading very fast. You'd expect that at the very least, our leaders will listen to wise counsel and correct the course rather than heading down this wrong path. Unfortunately, that humility is absent in those who have governed us for the last 8 years. Ghana urgently needs leadership that is inspiring and compassionate, rooted in integrity, truth, justice, and accountability. We must steer the country back onto the path of genuine progress and transformation. I have had the opportunity to govern this country before. I've had the opportunity to lose an election and watch from the outside. This reflection has given me the kind of insight that I believe can help bring this country back on track. Not everybody gets the opportunity that God may give me in this election. The opportunity to have done it before, be able to sit back and reflect and come back and do it better once again. This is the kind of leadership the NDC offers to the people of Ghana in the upcoming December 7th election. A leadership that will be honest with the people, a leadership that will eschew extravagance, a leadership that will tackle corruption and invest the nation's resources wisely in order to create prosperity and opportunity for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand that this task will not be an easy one, but I have unwavering faith in God's ability to use me as a vessel to guide our nation. Since I started my political journey, God has guided my steps and given me the privilege of experiencing every level of political leadership. My odyssey in leadership has imbued me with the experience, insights, and modesty to help my nation in a time of crisis such as this. And this is why I stand before you today, humbly seeking your prayers, your good counsel and blessings as we join hands with the Church of Christ to rescue and renew our nation. Crises are not a new thing, and even in biblical times, crises have been described in many of the books of the Holy Bible. We're at a time of crisis in our nation as described in the book of Genesis, and that is Genesis 47:15, when money had failed and all hope seemed to be lost. It took Joseph, the servant of God, to rescue Egypt and his family from the famine. This biblical story resonates deeply with our current reality. We live in a time of great uncertainty, but the church remains the light of the world, a city on a hill that cannot be hidden. As a son of the church, I come before you in humility, seeking your intercession and counsel as I lead my party in our mission to rescue our nation from the current leadership failure that we see. Hosea in 12:13 tells us that by a prophet, the Lord led Israel out of oppression in Egypt, and by a prophet was he preserved. You, as the spiritual leaders of this land, are the prophets who must provide the guidance to lead Ghana out of this crisis and preserve our peace, prosperity, and progress. My dear fathers and mothers in the Lord, your wisdom and dedication to truth are what Ghana desperately needs now. In these difficult times, we need spiritual leaders who are committed to righteousness, like the leaders of the Church of Ephesus in Revelations 2:2, who could not tolerate evil and exposed false apostles. You are called to stand against deception and lead the people on the right path. As Paul reminds us in Galatians 6:10, therefore, as we have opportunity, let us work for the good of all, especially for those who belong to the household of faith. I pledge to work tirelessly with my team to address our nation's unprecedented crisis and bring about the socio-economic transformation we all so desperately need. I'll continue to seek your invaluable counsel and rely on your wisdom in government as we navigate these challenges together. As President, I commit to upholding truth and integrity and will always be transparent about the state of the nation and remain humble enough to admit if we make mistakes. In a recent engagement with church leaders in Ho, in the Volta region, I committed to establish a national day of prayer and thanksgiving should I be elected president. Maybe I should say when I am elected president, by the grace of God, in the upcoming elections. This initiative for a National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving stems from my belief in the power of prayer and reverence for God as essential elements for the success of any nation. And I reaffirm this pledge to you today. The National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving will serve as a day of intercession, promoting national unity and cohesion, which are vital for our country's development and growth. We will prioritize religious freedoms, recognizing that churches are not only places of worship, but also centers for social upliftment, compassion, and moral leadership. By fostering a supportive environment for faith-based institutions, we will be investing in the moral strength of our own society. Under a John Mahama presidency, the freedom of religion will be protected, as specified in our Constitution. Leaders of faith and their works will not be subjected to harassment or attacks. Our goal is to create communities where worship and learning can thrive in peace, meeting our people's spiritual and educational needs with dignity. A key component of the next NDC's government will be to partner with religious organizations to invest in income-generating activities, both for the benefit of the churches and their congregations. An NDC government will prioritize investments in agriculture and agribusiness, and we believe that this is an area in which the church and the state can have a healthy partnership. We can have a partnership, just as we have a partnership with governments in education and health. We can create space for the church to invest in the priority areas of income investment for the benefit of both the church and the nation. Therefore, the government will seek partnership with the church in investing in, among others, and not limited to, poultry production, oil palm production, cashew, rice production, cassava, vegetable, cocoa processing, livestock, and other areas of agribusiness. As I said earlier, we would also seek to achieve cooperation between a new NDC government and the church in managing our mission schools. We will increase the church for the missions that have invested in education and have schools. We will increase the representation of the church in the governing boards of these schools. and will give the churches a greater say in choosing who the headmaster and the management of these schools should be. We will work with the church on curriculum development in order that we can strengthen the moral content of what we teach our children. We will introduce a government-church partnership program to incentivize faith-based institutions to engage in community development projects such as continuing to render health services, participating in education of our children, providing clean water, and youth empowerment in our society. My fathers and mothers in Christ, the current legal impasse created by the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration on the Promotion of Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Act, which was passed by Parliament, has set a dangerous precedence for our governance. The constitutional directives for action by the President are quite clear and need not have resulted in this stalemate.
That was flag bearer for the National Democratic Congress NDC, John Dramani Mahama, speaking to us on Point Blank this evening and bringing an end to Eyewitness News, which has been live on 97.3 Citi FM, the Election Bureau. My name is Nanatufo Boateng. I did this with Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Show produced by Nana Kobna Wilson and Sami Wiafe. Technical support Emmanuel Latte and Edwin Kwakofi on social media support. This is the Election Bureau. Many thanks to you for listening. Join the conversations online with the hashtag Ghana Post 2024 and the hashtag Citi Verify. Have a good evening.